Perhaps the greatest criticism of Jesus' life was the way that he loved those who everyone else thought were too far gone for love. People didn't understand the way Jesus would reach out to the lowly, the nobodies, the unimportant. But the Gospels share one story after the next of Jesus loving the unexpected types and actually being tough on the religious types. He loved the poor and spoke harshly towards the rich. He loved known sinners but got tough on the Pharisees and scribes. He touched lepers when everybody else refused to. And the religious leaders saw all this, and they said in Mark 2 verse 16, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" Then Mark says, on hearing this, Jesus said to them, "It's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." And so Jesus went to those who the religious types didn't go to. In fact, it reminds me of a story I read about Tony Campolo, the author, who was eating breakfast at a diner early one morning when a group of prostitutes walked in. And he heard one of them say that the next day would be her birthday, but she'd never had a birthday party. And so Campolo decided to throw her a birthday party and arranged it with Harry, the owner of the cafe. And so at 2:30 the next morning, Campolo brought decorations and Harry had baked a cake. Word got out, and it seemed as if every prostitute in Honolulu was there. And Agnes, this prostitute, entered with her friends shortly after, and she was flabbergasted. Her mouth fell open and her knees wobbled, and as she sat on a stool, everyone sang happy birthday. "Blow out the candles," people shouted. But in the end, Harry had to do it for her. She was so overwhelmed. He handed her the knife and said, "Cut the cake." And she looked at the cake and slowly said, "Is it all right if I wait a little longer if we didn't eat it straight away?" "Sure, it's okay," said Harry. "Take some home if you want." "Can I?" she said. "Can I take it home now? I'll be back in a few minutes." And so off she went, carrying this precious cake out of the cafe, and there was the stunned silence. So Campolo said, "Shall we pray?" And so they did. And afterwards Harry came up to him and said, "You never told me you were a preacher. What kind of church do you belong to?" And Campolo said, "I belong to a church that throws birthday parties for prostitutes at 3:30 in the morning." And Harry waited for a moment, and then he kind of sneered and said, "No, you don't. There's no church like that. If there was, I'd join it." And you know, as I read this, friends, I thought, I hope my church will always welcome the far gone, that we will care for the people that no one else cares for, that we never consider ourselves too good or too holy to love the ones that the world rejects. If we want to love like Jesus, friends, we not only offer grace and mercy and kindness to our friends and family and to our foes, but to the far gone, the way Jesus did.